mean for you as an economist? What does it imply, all of this, and how significant?
Statistics is a basis for research, whether inflation or whatever. Methodology and approach also matters as far as trying to derive information. These informations are cogent. The methodology approach adopted by the Bureau of Statistics is a standard methodology. But what is more important to understand is to understand that inflation means differently to different institutions. Inflation to the statistic office may be different from from the monetary angle at the central bank. And in the same context, it will also be different to individual consumer. But however, proponent Hicksian analysis always reveal the situation in which consumer is identified with his income with effective demands. So relatively, there must be a distinction between the CPI and CLI. Consumer Price Index can have a survey. Cost of living indexed should also have a survey, because they are very cogent in understanding the comfortability of a consumer with his income in an economy in a given period of time. Cost of living index, if you just take 2023 January as a best year, check your income, what your income can do to your household, and then check that same level of income with the value of currency this year. You now understand why you are either being in a stable condition or unstable condition with your income. Relatively, the concept of CPI, why there is a lot of misunderstanding as to what does this mean to the economy, what does this mean to an individual consumer. First of all, you have to understand the type of consumer you are, the bundles of goods you consume. The statisticians also have various baskets of goods that they have research on. And then there is also the number of goods, the prices of goods, and the type of consumers that have effective demand on those goods at a relatively different period may differ, as rightly pointed out by Dr. Ayo. A consumer making call was enjoying his call before enjoying other facilities, which he is now paying. So now, if we go by standard, of course, 740 basket of goods to 960 basket of goods, there should be categorization of those goods, because even by statistical standard, there is what is called rural inflation and urban inflation. And there are goods that are not necessarily consumed in rural economies, but there are goods also that are paramount being consumed in urban economies. Once accommodation is mentioned, it's mostly consumed in urban economic settlements. Mm-hmm. You cannot expect a rural community to bother much spending on accommodation while they can sleep under a tree. Do you understand? So, but in my own I always appreciate the effort of Bureau of Statistics for remaining consistent, even with the fact that the best year was 2009, but they were consistent in updating. So what we are expecting, like rightly pointed out, once a methodology is introduced, it's like a new inference, it's a new parameter which must be understood by similar coincidence, because no matter what statistical inference you are going to make your research, there is what is called in economics stochastism. That is where you now check the disturbances that bring about changes in prices at a point in time. So in my own, it's a good development that the Bureau of Statistics is coming with an innovation, but I hope and I pray that they sustain the critical surveys conducted in the economy, because prices will remain unchanged, but not unchanged to the fact that there will not be certain maladjustment or certain disturbances in the market, but there is need to understand that in any statistical inference advanced by Bureau of Statistics, they are just guiding policymakers, not merely guiding consumers, because consumers are guided by their income and their taste over a period of time. So what the work of now, the critical question here is, if we go by 24.4 inflation rate January, we are in February. Now, we all assume that officers are already in field conducting surveys on that 960 basket of goods at different locations, rural and urban. And at the end of the February, definitely there will be a report on that. So that brings a question now that if monetary policy depends on the outcome of research from the Bureau of Statistics, the MPC committee of the central bank has an obligation to at least observe a 30 days period to understand whether to shift the monetary policy rate or to maintain it, or to look critically on the best decision so that it will affect the multiplier of stakeholders who are waiting for the MPC outcome to determine their participation in the economy, and also to determine what aspect of commitment to engage in an economy.
Okay.